Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this is part 2 video on Azure Blob storage communicating with .NET 7 Web API for file management. So let's try to create the project .NET 7 Web API. Okay, here I am going to use the CLI and Visual Studio Code Editor, and one of the best option is to use the Visual Studio 2022 version 17 to create the .NET 7 applications. Because my system not supporting, I am using the .NET CLI for creating the project. Okay, so this is the CLI command for creating the web API project. .NET space new space template name, that is web API -o, that means output directory I want, and name of the project. So let's enter to create the API project. So the project got created successfully. Let me open my project in Visual Studio Code Editor. Here is my API project, and we can observe target framework is .NET 7.0. Okay. Now as a first step, let's install the Azure Storage Blob package. Okay, which is a NuGet package we have to install now. Okay, search like Azure Storage Blob NuGet and click on the top link. Since I am using .NET CLI, right, I can copy the command from this tab. If you are using Visual Studio 2022, then copy the package manager, or you can use the user interface of a package manager that is pre-built with Visual Studio. Okay, so let me copy the command, open the terminal, paste the command and install it. Okay, package got successfully installed, and you can see the package reference attached to our .cs project file. Okay, now to communicate with our Azure cloud, we must have a connection string. Okay, so for that, in app settings.development.json file, let's define property like connection string. Inside of it, let me define like Azure store blob, sorry, blob storage. So here we have to paste our connection string. So where we can get means we have to go to our Azure portal dashboard. So here is my Azure Blob storage account, right? So here on left hand side you can see the security and networks. Under it you can see access keys. Okay, here it will provide key 1 and key 2. Under that key 1 and key 2 we have connection strings. You can use any one of the connection strings. So to use that, click on show and copy the connection string and paste it over here. Okay, that is my connection string. Okay, now what we have to do means we have to register our blob service client, which comes from our package, that is Azure Storage Blobs. Okay, so for that registration, we have to go to program.cs file. Okay, here builder services dot. I want to register that blob service client instant at scope, means for every request it will be a single object. Okay, so scope, and here I can return new blob service client. Okay, that loads from Azure Storage Blobs library. Okay, to that we have to pass the connection string. There are overloaded constructors, so we have to pass here connection string. So to pass the connection string, builder dot configurations dot get connection string, and here we have to pass our connection string property name. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so this is our service registration. Now let's create a normal service files where we can implement our logic for communicating with the our Azure Cloud Blob storage. Okay, so for that, let me create a new folder like services. Inside of it, let me create and first an interface file like ifile service. Okay, this is our service file interface of our service file. Now let's create the class service class like file service.cs. So this is our file service class. So here let's try to inject our blob service client. Okay, so I can do like retrieved only blob service client. Okay, so let's import the namespace and let's inject into the constructor because we have registered the service right here so that I can inject into the constructor. So blob service client, okay, and assign it to our blob service client read only variable. Okay, now let's inherit the ifile service. Okay, and now let's register this file service in our program.cs file at scope level. Okay, builder service dot add scope and define ifile service comma file service. Okay, so now in this service file we can implement our logic for uploading or reading the files. Okay, so next we are going to implement three endpoints like uploading a file endpoint, reading a file endpoint, and downloading a file endpoint. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video delivered some useful content to you all. If you like the video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel as well as by liking the video. Soon we are going to meet with new content. Until then, signing off.